Greyhounds.com and on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ. Our next guest is the boys basketball coach at Loyal High School, Brandon DeSmet. Coach, thanks for coming by and welcome to our program for this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk some Clover Belt basketball.
Well, good. Well, first of all, let's talk about your ball club in the Clover Belt, the Loyal Greyhounds, and what things look like for your ball club this season.
Well, similar to what a lot of our other coaches have been talking about today, it's a growing every single day, every opportunity we have, practice. In terms of Loyal specifically, we're really young this year. We've got, at any given time in a varsity basketball game, we've played 6 different sophomores. We've got 4 seniors on our team, 2 juniors. One of our juniors who started all last year for us is out for the year with a back injury. Dealing with that and trying to find a way to replace that and going through those types of things. But in terms of our program, we're young. We've got 23 kids out, 10 sophomores, 7 freshmen, and a couple seniors, a couple juniors, and we're growing every day. So it's been a good experience so far this year.
Well, what's it like been working with such a young group of ball players this year?
Well, it's been good because they're real coachable and real moldable, and they're like sponges, listening and growing, and just every day they're taking something in. So that's also an experience too, because it feels like sometimes you're saying some of the same things every couple practices or every game. But just in terms of their sponge mentality, taking everything in and growing from it, it's been really good.
I'll say. Tell us about some of the young men on your ball club and what their roles are for you this year.
Well, one of our, I guess I'll talk a couple of our seniors quickly. Like Jacob Schill has been a guy who started 2 years for us now, played as a sophomore as well. So he's been playing varsity basketball for 3 years, and his role is going to be a really good shooter for us and help stretch the floor. He's got a really nice stroke, and him finding confidence that is really important for us. We've got another senior that's also played a lot of minutes, and that was Isaac Jacoby, who's back this year in the post for us. And a couple of those younger guys that played last year for us as freshmen, now sophomores, are players like Reed Stiglitz and Kane Tofar and Bryce Deegan. And both those guys are starting for us right now. All 3 of those guys are starting for us, and they've been, each one of those at any given time now this year has been a leading scorer for us. And like last night, I think all 3 of them hit double digits in our scorebook, along with Jacob. So those are a lot of our younger guys that are growing right now and making plays.
All right, tell us about some things this crew can do for you pretty well on the floor this year.
Well, probably this is my 4th year now, Laura. I think this might be the most athletic group I've had in terms of height, length, and ability to make plays, especially some plays off the drive, off the dribble. So that's been something that's been really exciting to work with. And with that, that's probably the biggest thing this year that's been kind of standing out, is that athleticism and them starting to use that on the court.
As you mentioned, 4 years you've been as the Loyal High School basketball coach. Tell us about some things you've been doing over these last several years to really bring that program back.
Well, first and foremost, I guess the most important thing that we talk about every single day is competitiveness and the energy level that you bring to practice. And no matter what athletic ability you have, whatever talents you have, we've always asked, demanded, or expected that when you get on the court, you have high energy and competitiveness. No matter what that is it, especially in the defensive end. If you can bring that every single day, you're going to have opportunities in our basketball program. And seniors that have gone before now and that come back to our games, they did a great job establishing that foundation. And that is something that we've just continued to build on. And that's probably the most important thing that we've built in terms of that, is that competitiveness, that energy. Other things, though, too, is that as players go through now and they get through 4 years with me, and hopefully they become fundamentally sound players, that they can make plays with the basketball, off the dribble, through the pass, and things like that, but being sound, knowledgeable basketball players.
When you're dealing with a young roster like you have this year, are there some of those things that you really have to take some time to teach this season?
This year especially, what I've noticed, I think more than what I've had to, is just some things defensively that we've been working to figure out, and especially guarding guys off the drive, which isn't always easy, especially when you're thinking about teams like like Colby, for example, from last week, or Almond Bank routes with TJ Lamb earlier in the year, or looking down the road with Columbus and different things like that. Guarding guys off the drive is one of the things we're really going to have to stress and work on, and finding proper gaps and help and things like that.
Yeah. Larry, how about some questions or comments you have for Coach DeSmet?
Are there any things, Coach, that you're doing differently now from a coaching standpoint with this team as compared to other teams that you've had?
There might be some different things we've worked on. One of the things specifically is because we've had some things where we're trying to work getting things like guarding guys off the drive, more different things. We've actually, and with a little more length than we've had in the past, we've actually started trying to find ways to sprinkle in a zone here or there, just give different looks. And we haven't run a lot of that in the past since I've been here. This year, we've run it a little more. So that's something that's been a little bit different. Other than that, I mean, some of the same concepts, same drills, ideas, and things like that are still consistent within our program.
You're off the Joe Konechny coaching tree.
Yep.
How much of that do you bring with you now in your 4 years with Loyal?
That's a great question. He does so many great things as a coach. Just in terms of his ability to connect with players, his relationship, just, I guess, speaking on a personal level with me when I was there. I graduated in 2009, and even after I left Columbus, his caring for you and wanting to know how you're doing, and that stuff in itself is just so much more important than anything in basketball he does. And I appreciate that relationship the most, and it's something that I look to try to do with my players now as a coach every single day. And that I've loved the most about him, and I appreciate and respect the most. In terms of basketball things, he's got that. He's got the speed and the press and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't always suit some of our players and molds at this point. Maybe down the road, I would love to be able to get up and down as fast as he does. And it's fun watching that and seeing how they can do that so well. But too, just like what he does every single day in practice, he preached fundamentals. Mm-hmm. And if you can dribble, pass, and shoot offensively, you're going to find ways onto the court combined with great energy. And he does such a great job of developing players. And trying to develop players is a really important goal.
And one of the things I know he's done is a big involvement in the youth basketball. Do you do that as well up in Loyal? Or? Yeah,
so we've got basketball camps all summer. Not all summer. We've got one basketball camp a week. Not a week. 1 week in the summer, I should say. And then in terms of that, we've got 4th and 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade teams that are going to different tournaments. And in that respect, we do have pretty good numbers in our youth right now. Our 4th grade team has got 9 kids. Our 5th grade team is sitting at 11 or 12. 6th grade's got 7 or 8. 8th grade this year had 10 or 11 outs. And our 7th grade's a little smaller boy group, so there's only 5 kids in that class. But that is so important, and he does a great job with that. And developing that is really important.
Do you get your hand into the youth? I mean, do you tell the coaches, hey, this is what I want to see? Or
well, there's different things we talk about, and most important, I think, that I talk with those guys about, and that they need to know is first of all, we're trying to teach a love of the game, get those kids to love basketball and look forward to playing the sport. But then also, most importantly, and what Columbus does such a great job of is when those kids get to high school, all of them can dribble, all of them can pass, all of them can cut and move around the floor. And that kind of stuff in a game is so important if you can develop that at a young age. So however you do that within your youth kids, as long as you are stressing those things is the most important thing.
I know when I was coaching the youth, I asked the 7th grade coach when my son was in 6th grade, I said, what do you want me to do for him to get him ready for you? He goes, as long as they can pass, shoot, and dribble, I can take care of the rest.
Right.
So
that is something like when I was in Stevens Point that Coach Anderson would talk about with his youth coaches is that when they come to high school, we'll help teach them motion offense and concepts. We'll get them to play really hard defense, and we'll get them to get into gaps and teach them those basketball concepts. But if you can get them to love the sport, want to play basketball, but then fundamentally be good players, that's the most important thing at the youth level.
Where do you see Loyal fitting in the conference season this year?
Well, I see us being a really competitive team. I see us growing every single day. We're sitting 1-1 right now in the conference, losing to Colby last week, who's got a really nice upper class. Richard Streveler is a really good player. And then we played Spencer in a tough game last night, and Spencer, and we're able to come away with a win there. I see us being competitive and giving our best shot to every single team we play, and really looking forward to see where we end up at the end of the year, and seeing. I love the most, I think, about the basketball season is that you get a second chance at every team. So it's cool. You see where you are that first game against them, but now let's see where we were able to take it that next time we play them, how we've grown, how we've changed and gotten better.
What are some of the keys you're going to look for as you move on to be successful?
For our team, I think one of the important keys is I talked a little bit about is their defensive intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Our defensive intensity has got to grow, and that'll come. Our positioning and our concepts will get there. I know that will as these kids play more. But I think most importantly for our team going forward is developing a confidence and a belief in themselves and the teammates, and letting that shine and letting that show on the court, because they all are capable players. They're going to be really great basketball players as they keep growing and getting older, and as soon as they really truly believe that and feel it, and that's going to be really important for us.
I know that sophomore class, they're a pretty good athletic class here in Loyal.
Yes, it's like I mentioned, it's the most length I've seen walk through a gym in Loyal, and in size and height, and again growing into that ability and getting those players now when they're younger becoming fundamentally sound and believing in themselves, so that as they grow older and they get to be juniors and seniors, they've been through the trials of a season, and they grow from that.
That's what's always fun as a coach, is to be able to watch them grow.
Yes, that is as
they go on.
And we talk about that at the beginning of the year, that a basketball season, I'm also a math teacher in Loyal, so we like to talk about linear equations, and things go at a straight line. We'd love it for it to be just perfect. But when you got almost a 4-month season and you're working with high school kids, it's not perfect. And you're going to have ups and downs, and you're going to have trials and different things that grow. An example I like to give is, like last year, the national champion was UConn. And I think at one point in time in December and January, they lost 4 or 5 straight conference games.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get to the NCAA tournament, and I don't think they had a game within 15. And that's a great example for kids to know and see that things just don't go perfectly in a season, and how you respond to it and how you grow from it is crucial.
Coach, how about your coaching staff for this year?
So we've got same guys that were there last year. We've got Louis Stiglitz, who is coaching our JV team and has been there since I've been here, and was there before I was there, and he's been there for a while now. And then we also have Logan Fulweiler, who was there last year with us. He teaches in our school science, and he's a great addition and help. He's a younger guy, and kids can relate to him. Then we got some other guys that now are moving back into the area, guys like Cameron Brousseau. He's coming to practices now every single day that he can, and he's working with our guys. I know guys like Riley Geiger is looking to get back involved, and Trevin Wilkie, and the Bogdanovich boys, when they're back in town, they come back, and it's really good having that presence, because all these guys watched them.
Yeah.
They watched them for so many years, and then they see them come back, and they see how much, what's really important, which is awesome, is they see how much they care still about the program, and they are happy when they see those guys succeed, and these guys take what they say in, and that's really cool. So having those 2 guys, Louis and Logan, are really important in helping our program, but then getting those other guys in and around as much as we can. It's not easy. It's been good.
All right. Coach, thanks for coming by and joining us tonight, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Loyal High School basketball coach Brandon DeSmet with us.